Geoff, tonight was an extraordinary evening because, much to your surprise, the government of the Virgin Islands granted you essentially citizenship here by giving you belongers, which made you belong to the Virgin Islands. Lawrence Rockefeller got it a year before he died, and he created tourism here, but it took him until the year before he died. One other person got it, and you got it. How did it feel when they announced it?
I was under no illusion how special an honour that was. It wasn't like, just here's a certificate, thank you for coming. To be made an honorary belonger from the Premier himself, he's basically accepting me into his community. He's saying that I'm a belonger in this Tortolan Virgin Island community.
You're part of the BVI family, and that is what I think. When I was standing across from you, and for me, watching you, you were welcomed as a formal member of the family. It's a rites of initiation. It
felt like that, and there's a lot of people in the room who I felt were, I'm not saying jealous, but they've obviously been waiting a long time for their citizenship, and I'm feeling slightly embarrassed that I arrive on this yacht and a week later I'm an honorary belonger, but I'm very proud that I've become an ambassador for the Virgin Islands as well. And everything I've done has brought publicity and profile to the Virgin Islands, and you won't hear me say a bad word about them because they're in my heart.
This morning you did something extraordinary, even by my standards watching you, and most people who are watching you will not believe what you did today in the British Virgin Islands.
For the first time since being disabled, this morning I went scuba diving.
Scuba diving? You mean you went underwater with tanks?
With tanks. With
and weights?
Weights, the whole lot. Earlier this week, Mike from Caribbean Dive.
Mike Rowe from Caribbean.
He contacted my consultant, doctor in the UK. He got special permission from my consultant to allow someone with my disability to go underwater with his instruction. And he and his assistant Megan were just amazing. They talked me through what was going to happen, what to do, because I can't move my hands, so I can't make the OK signal. So I can't make the OK buddy signal.
So what did you do as a substitute?
As a substitute, this is important. As a substitute, it was 2 fists, and it was that. And the reason that's important is because tonight, when the Premier made me an honorary belonger, Mike was in the audience, and he went.
He did that. So you signaled that. You signaled that.
I just did that. We knew what each other was saying, and that meant okay.
So what did it feel like to go underwater in a scuba with scuba? Because this is something that most people in your lives never do.
I tell you, it was very, very hard for me because 25 years ago on this island, when I broke my neck, I was lying face down in the water, holding my breath, because if I breathed, I would drown. And I remember seeing the sand rise and fall. 2 years ago, when I went around Britain, a boat capsized me and I fell in the water, and again I held my breath and I saw the bottom rise and fall. All my life as a disabled person, when I've been in the water, I've been holding my breath. So to put that face mask on, put the regulator in my mouth, to put my head under the water and to breathe, went against every fibre in my body. And I did it. Mike talked me through it, and it slowly became easier. And then we went down to the bottom. It was only 12 feet deep.
How long were you underwater?
For 30, 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Was it a priceless experience?
Yeah, because...
You told me earlier there was something special of being in the water for you because it doesn't have pressure or pain. So tell us what that felt like.
Every minute of my living life, whether I'm lying on a bed or sitting in a wheelchair, particularly sitting in a wheelchair, I'm under pressure. Right now I have pain in my back because I'm sitting in this position. Some days I sit in this position for 14 hours with my legs bent, never straightening. My bottom on the chair it hurts. And in 25 years, I've never really been without pressure. So today, it was like floating in space.
Weightless.
Weightless. And they balanced the weights just right to what they call neutral buoyancy. And I just went down halfway, and I was there with the fish, and the jellyfish and the seaweed, and I just felt I nearly fell asleep.
You didn't feel handicapped at all then?
I didn't feel disabled at all. I was very aware that I was a second away from disaster, because you take that regulator out and you're dead. And that element of risk is a bit more than I'd like to have in my life. But I was confident because I had Mike and I had Megan either side of me, so they knew if there was a problem to call me up. But it was, and it was a bit like sailing in many ways. It just shows if people are prepared to dream. Last week, I would never have thought I'd ever go scuba diving, ever in my life.
So you didn't come with a plan to scuba dive?
I never came with a plan to scuba dive. No, it wasn't even on my radar. And someone mentioned it, and my immediate reaction was, that's not possible. And then I reminded myself of my motto, which is no excuses.
An impossible dream.
And I thought, no excuses, what excuse can I give? So I said to them, surely it's not possible. And they said, it is, if you come with us, and we will train you. And I was with the best people. And today, a quadriplegic scuba dived in the Virgin Islands, possibly the first time ever.
For me, meeting you was about inspiration. So perhaps you can share with what's your message in the 5 sentences that you can share.
I think my answer to you simply in a couple of sentences would be, do not be afraid to dream. Once you dream what you want to do not be afraid to go after that dream. Be prepared to fail on that journey, because failure is part of the journey. And every time you get knocked over, get up and carry on. And every time you get up, you'll be stronger. And when you achieve your dream, when you finish that journey, against all the odds and everything that's gone wrong in the past, it is the best feeling in the world. I've had that feeling on several occasions in my life, most notably last Thursday in Cane Garden Bay. And as I crossed that finishing line, all my worries disappeared. I'd achieved another dream. What had been an impossible dream had become a possible dream. And I proved it to myself and to my friends and my family. And in so doing, I inspired other people and I made new friends. And there's no greater gift in my book than helping other people.
Thank you for coming to the British Virgin Islands. Congratulations on being a belonger. We welcome you back. Come back and prove to us that no disability should stand in the way of enjoying these beautiful islands.
Thanks, Ajit.
You're most welcome.